The internet was meant to set you free, and yet here you are scrolling TikTok, Instagram, wasting your time with internet pornography, videos, and the like. The internet is the greatest wealth of knowledge that has ever existed in human history, and yet so few people are using it to the potential that they could be. You could learn absolutely anything you want. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can stop being distracted and take back your freedom. We're going to talk about RSS feeds, how to block certain content, and the freedom and the idea behind what the internet was supposed to be. We're going to roll things back to the 90s and do as the Zoomers are doing nowadays. Ironically, they never even existed in the 90s. I don't know how this is a thing. And we're going to use the internet like it was intended to be used. I'm Joshua Blaze, and on my channel I talk about technology, freedom, and really whatever else is on my mind. So if that interests you, consider sticking around, subscribing, and let's get into it. The internet was supposed to be this vast wealth of knowledge. It was meant to be something that you could simply talk to any person and gain a knowledge base in any topic you can possibly think about. The beauty of the internet is that there is a niche for everything. The thing is back in the 90s and early 2000s, everybody was anonymous online. And the benefit is that it became a place of meritocracy. You could talk about any topic that you wanted to, and you could have been an 11-year-old Cocker Spaniel. But if your opinion was valuable, it was considered. It was considered just as much as an astrophysicist. And that is the thing that I think that the modern internet is missing. We look at the person that is espousing the information and make immediate snap judgments about the person rather than hearing what they have to say. The thing is that social media has given every person with an opinion a platform. And whether this is a good or bad thing is neither here nor there. But the fact of the matter is that classically, you needed some technical know-how to get onto the internet. You needed a little bit of programming knowledge, you needed a little bit of understanding of networking and everything to get your site online and to get heard. Nowadays, that is a barrier to entry that is non-existent. And I'm not going to talk about that as a positive or a negative, but the fact of the matter is that back in the day, the quality of information was overall higher. So the first thing that I will touch on is make your own platform. Get off of the various platforms that exist, create a website, and start posting about whatever it is that interests you. Start talking about the things that you know about. Start talking about the things that you don't know about, and the comments will come. The comments will start showing you where there's value and where you've touched people. That's the coolest thing that I've learned in writing a blog, and I'll shamelessly plug it in the link below. But I've started writing in 2015, and people would come to my blog and leave comments. They would send me emails. They would have conversations with me about whatever it was that I was writing. And it was the coolest thing ever. I was building a friendship with people that I might never meet. And the friendships that I have built online actually have translated to many, many friendships in person. And this is what I believe the internet was supposed to be. It was supposed to be this place that you could go to get offline. I think it was this place that you could go to find these friendships and really nurture them in the offline world. That's, at least for me, what I have seen been the greatest benefit of the internet in my 20 years of using it. So that's my first point, is start your own platform, whether that's a website or a blog or a YouTube channel or whatever it is. Start it because the world needs more of that. The world needs more of your voice, and it needs a decentralization away from these platforms where you control the content. The second thing I will touch on is the infinite scroll nature of social media and video platforms and all of this. This was never meant to be a thing. The internet was not supposed to be this addictive place where you just kept looking at photos, scrolling down the page, scrolling down the page. The way around this is to create something called a RSS feed. You can generate an RSS feed for nearly everything. You can even do it for social media sites. I don't personally do this because I have kicked myself off of all of these platforms, but you can generate a feed for blogs, for news websites, for YouTube channels, even this YouTube channel. And I'll show you how to do this in the video.
I'm going to show you how to quickly set up RSS feeds to read. What this does is it aggregates your news sources, blogs, videos you want to watch, everything into one place and allows you to quickly see if there's been any updates or new content. This allows you to forego the algorithm and lets you see only the things that you want to see. Depending on if you're using a desktop or mobile device, you'll have different options for a feed reading application. If you're using Android, you could use something like Feeder. You can also search for really what are the best news reading applications. And for iPhone, there's something called Flipboard that's very commonly used. I have friends that use it to read the news, etc. And you can kind of actually pick what topics interest you and it will actually give you a feed. I'm not sure if you're able to add your own feeds to Flipboard. Somebody can let me know in the comments below. I use something called Newsboat in my computer, on my desktop, as well as actually in Termux on Android. And what this is a very simple aggregation tool that you just add feeds to, and you get these nice looking, to some subjectively, news articles into your terminal. Very easy to read that way. The next thing you'll need to do is search for feeds. Generally, a lot of these people that write blogs, they have feeds. So if you want to find a feed, simply search for feeds. If we scroll down to see the feed for this website, you have various formats. Generally, all RSS feed readers can handle these various formats, RSS being the most common, index.xml being the extension most commonly used for RSS feeds. But there's also Atom feeds, and there's also JSON. Generally, these are the two that you'll be looking for when you're looking for RSS feeds. If you want the RSS feed for any YouTube channel, simply go to the URL of the channel and view the page source of the channel. And if you search for something like RSS, you'll be given this right here is the channel RSS feed. You can also just search for the channel ID and just grab that ID and put it into your feed reader with this link. This will update every single time that there's been a new video for the channel, and it's an easy way to subscribe to people without actually subscribing. But go subscribe to me anyway, because why not? A lot of the time, news sites will have their RSS feed like in the header. You can just click on that link and sometimes it'll actually download for you, and you can just simply add that to your feed reader. Very easy. Easy way to see updated stuff for the news. The thing is that I forego the news a lot of the time because there's just so many updates and it's not that easy to follow. So I would rather not do that, but everybody has their own cup of tea, and who am I to judge? That's how you set up RSS feed readers and get feed URLs to add to your readers.
The third thing is you need to be disciplined. You need to take back your time and to use your devices with the utmost responsibility. In a previous video, I'll link it below, I talked about how I use a smartphone. And in using a smartphone for the purposes not of scrolling, but of productivity, of communication, of using it for what it's meant to be, using it as a tool, you start to see that this is not some evil thing. It could be for good, but only if you are cognizant of how you're using it. The same thing goes for your computers, for everything. Use them for the benefit of you and humanity. Don't use them to consume content. I know this is ironic that you're watching this video and I am saying this, but the thing is you need to create yourself, because that is where you find fulfillment. That is where you find joy in this life, is in creation. It's what you were meant to do. The fourth thing I'll touch on is you need to value your privacy and your autonomy online. What I mean by this is that you should not be selling yourself to all of these platforms and giving them away everything for free. The days I think of this are numbered. The days of Facebook knowing everything about you and trying to sell you a water bottle when you're having a conversation about water bottles is coming to an end, I think. The fact of the matter is that your data is valuable. Who you are is valuable. And when you start seeing that, you start not giving away that information for free. You stop just willy-nilly allowing everything online. You should value your privacy. You should not just give everything about yourself away to the lowest bidder. This is a philosophical statement, not just online, but in all places in this life. Value yourself, value who you are, value your information, because obviously these companies do. With the advent of AI and AI-generated art and all of these different things, people are getting sick of it quickly. They know when it's a robot writing. They know when it's a robot that just painted something. The thing about humanity is it's imperfect. And in its imperfection, that's where value is. That's where we are. It's in that imperfection that we can show who we are. And that's beautiful. And I think that that's the thing that we will lose, is if we allow these systems to become all that we are. One thing too I'll mention about privacy and anonymity is that back in the 90s and early 2000s, you could say anything online. It wouldn't get back to you because you were anonymous. And that's the thing, is that now, because we've tied everything to a face and a name, you can't say anything anymore. If you value your ability to say things, value your privacy, value your autonomy. And the last thing I'll mention is using open source and free systems. If you're using closed operating systems like Windows or Mac, you do not know what is going on behind the hood. If you use open source programs and operating systems like Linux, you can know what's going on behind the veil. I'm not smart enough, but there are people that are smart enough that know what's going on. They view every single line of code in the Linux kernel and they can tell you what's going on. These systems are more secure. These systems are freer. If you're using proprietary software that locks you into a system, look for open source alternatives. Look for things that you could replace those closed systems with open systems. The benefit about open systems, specifically command line interface tools, is that you can actually take the output of one and input it to another tool. You can pipe, is what this is called. You can pipe an output into another program, and you can take that information and build whatever you want. It's very cool. Learn how to use a computer properly. That's what I'll call this last point, is learn how to use a computer properly. I read something where university professors lament the fact that computer science students don't even know what a directory is. They don't even know what a folder is, a folder structure. How can you be a programmer if you don't understand these things? Learn endlessly. Use your computer to benefit you and humanity. That's what it's all about. And that's how you set yourself free from these systems that are enslaving us. If you enjoyed this video, I talk about this sort of thing all of the time, so feel free to stick around, subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.